What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with another, well, I guess Dokkan Battle video, but I'm really talking about the Dragon Ball Heroes banner, because the Dragon Ball Heroes banner goes away tomorrow. And this is a video I kind of wanted to bring you guys, but it's never quite worked out. Unfortunately, my link levels were just way too low to really make this happen. But now that my link levels, and I'm not even going to say, like, my link levels are great. Most of my link levels are between, like, you know, maybe 3 and, like, 5 on most of these units. In fact, I believe Cumber is, like, at 1 across the board. So, as we're doing this video, bear in mind, this is not, like, representative of the best possible scenario. This is representative of something you could probably pull off, like, within a couple hours of pulling all of these units. Now, obviously, all these units are rainbow. The one big thing that I do say is awesome about the Heroes banner, and if you happen to, like, catch this video after the Heroes banner is gone, it should be back about this time next year. That's been kind of the going theme for the past couple of years. So when it comes back, if you miss it this time, definitely consider hitting it next time, because it's really one of the best banners in Dokkan, period. But let's go ahead and get in here. I'm going to do a Pure Saiyans run. Now, everybody on here is a Pure Saiyan. Everybody is. Everybody on this team is rainbowed. But that's because, A, I put a lot of stones into the banner. B, some of these, like Cumber, are and Super Saiyan. So Cumber, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Dark Mask King are all three from last year's banner. Now, I believe Dark Mask King got his awakening finally this year, but I digress. These units will still, a year later, with all the power creep in the game, hold their own. So let's go ahead and jump into the fight here. And there we go. It is a pre-recording, so we're just going to kind of do our reactions to this. Now, this is a Pure Saiyans fight. Like I said, this is Super Battle Road, and we're going to do this with no items whatsoever. And you're going to see that while there are a few RNG missteps, largely this is, I won't say effortless, but it's definitely like a very viable scenario. So, preferably, and I will say preferably, I'd like to have Super Saiyan 3 Goku here in the beginning. I'd like to have a rotation with Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Dark Mask King. Second rotation with STR Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, and then one of the other units, probably Broly or Cumber. Now, this is kind of like, I won't say the worst possible scenario, but it's not a good one. Now, to be fair, Dark Mask King will tank like crazy. Basically, if you don't know how Dark Mask King works, he takes the first hit. After that, he increases his defense like exponentially. So every hit after that is just a laugh riot. Now, the other thing he does is he reduces attack and defense every time he hits. So as he's hitting Goten, he's dropping that attack and defense and just really doing a number on his ability to produce damage. That's what's really awesome about it. That's why I like Dark Mask King so much. Because not only is he tank, he makes it easier for everyone else to take damage. Also, Cumber does the same thing. Attack and defense down. Unfortunately, he only hit once. The thing that makes Cumber awesome, Cumber on paper has the ability to stun. He has like a high chance to stun superclass enemies. But if I'm honest, I don't think he does at all this fight. So, once again, bad situation here that I'm trying to make work for me. You know, what do you do when you have both the Vegetas there? And I know I'm about to drop down some tech key, but then I've got both Vegetas on the next rotation too. So I'm kind of like, you know, you're between a rock and a hard place at this point. This is a really, really, really awful way to start a Super Battle Road. Definitely not what you want to see, not what you want to do. But believe me when I say we're gonna pull ourselves out of the fire without items, just with the natural capabilities of every unit on this team. All right. So getting a number of essays. Goten is almost called him Gotenks. Gotenks is next. Goten is almost done. Broly's basically just going to eviscerate him. Broly, I forgot, Broly only does one hit there. Broly has a really good habit of doing double crits or even sometimes triple hits with a couple of crits. It's pretty awesome. Remember, he also reduces attack and defense when he does that. So every time you hit him, you're really taking him down. Now, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Watch this dude work. Hits really well. Now, he has a high chance to stun, but he didn't stun there, which is, once again, kind of questionable. But tanks these essays like a champ. So he's a stunner and he's a tank. And he hits very well. Like, you saw, like, in Super Battle Road with all their defenses and everything, to be fair, the defenses are down, but so he's still beating north of a mil with remember, a lot of link levels left. Like, if he was link level 10, he'd be hitting for 2, maybe even 2.5 mil. On top of everything else he does, that is a substantial unit. A very, very good and viable unit. Now, this is where I prefer to have Bardock. Bardock being on second rotation is kind of a really good spot for him. But I've got to make a decision here. Am I going to go for the stun and stun Trunks, or am I going to go for the potential kill, hoping for a crit, and take out Goten? Because you notice right here, like, that first Vegeta is not going to get an SA, or unless he gets a double attack. But I decided ultimately to go for the seal, because that Trunks is going to be around for a little bit longer. I would very much just rather have him sealed in the event that we are going to be dealing with him next turn. But this is perfect right here. Okay, I was actually not expecting that. The perfect thing to do is to go into the very next fight with Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the front. And right now we're running a Super Saiyan 3 Goku Dark Mask King team, and that is going to be stellar. That is going to be tanking to the absolute extreme, plus a lot of stunning and reducing attack and defense, getting everything ready for that second rotation. Now, once again, decisions, but ultimately I decided to go beat up on Gotenks a little, hoping that we get the stun on Gohan. To be fair, Gohan SAing here does kind of mean I'm not overly worried about it, but here we go. 1.4 mil attack stat, and we get just under a mil, but with a crit. And with a stun. And that's the important part. That stunning is going to pull us out of the fire. Plus, I don't think Gotenks is attacking at any of the other turns. So, basically having all those attacks on Super Saiyan 3 Goku is the best possible scenario. That basically frees up everybody else to just go in here and do their thing. Once again, Broly's not doing double attacks. That's why I say this is a fantastic run and a great example, because once again, our link levels are not maxed out by any stretch. You'll actually be able to see when I move units around what the link levels are. They're not maxed out by any margin. So that and the fact that we're getting just some bad RNG failures, but really holding our own, I think should just drive home how phenomenal this team is. Now, once again, Cumber has the ability to stun here, but I don't think he stuns this entire fight. I think, like, the entire run of Super Battle Road, he fails to stun once. And it's like a high chance for super class enemies, and everybody here is a super class enemy. I don't know. I'm trying to sell you on these units, but remember, Cumber's like a unit from last year. So I'm really looking at, the Super Saiyan 4s, even Super Saiyan 3 Goku being an older unit is a really good reason, because he is on the banner, he's just not featured. Now, I will tell you, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, I do need to do a damage test him. We're going to try to do that tomorrow, I hope, before the banner goes away, because he's actually quite phenomenal. Broly, you can see here, is holding his own. Dark Mask King, who I believe just got his awakening this time around, is really good, and I think he's featured on the banner as well. There's a lot of units on these banners that you can use each and every single day on tons and tons and tons of teams. This is a pure Saiyans team, okay? And you can see how phenomenally this team is doing. We could probably run into LGE and laugh at the event. Like, if we're doing this to this team, we would probably, like, have a hysterical time with the Legendary Goku event. So, if you happen to be interested in that, you can go replicate this for yourself. It would be even more easy than this, I would say, because a lot of, like, the... Now, obviously, we'd want to throw somebody on there that could do attack up, defense up for all of our units. But once we do that, it's going to be a riot. It's going to be hilarious. And we got tons of tanks on here. It's great. Now, we did take an unfortunate SA there, and it's a big, big, big hit to take. It also means that the Super Saiyan 3 Goku failed to do his stun. So, like I said, this is not an example of perfect RNG. This is not an example of perfect link levels. This is an example of a real-world, honest-to-goodness test of a bunch of absolutely fantastic units. If you can't tell, I love this banner. I absolutely adore this banner. And if you're thinking about hitting the Blue Bros banner, bear in mind the difference in the, I guess, the likelihood of pulling those units. This is guaranteed featured every single hit. Every single hit. You got like 24 hours left to do this. A little more than 24 hours. Like, let's say 30 hours. Let's just say roughly. So, once again, if you haven't done it, hit this banner. It's great. Blue Bros, you know, your odds of pulling them are really, really slim, right? Like, the numbers on that banner do not forgive. And you're going to see a lot of people. If anybody wants like an example of how bad this banner could be, go back and watch Detruth's video when he was pulling on that banner on JP when it first dropped. Not the Tanabata. I was talking straight up the Blue Bros banner when it first dropped. Like, that was a level of pain. You can see that, hear that dude's soul just being crushed. It was horrible to witness. But that's what can happen. And frankly, like, yes, you could get screwed on the Heroes banner too, but the Heroes banner is guaranteed featured. Your odds are so much better. But I digress. We're in the final fight. You make the decision for yourself. Now, we're really, really low in health, and we're not going to stun this turn. This is the point in the fight where I'm, like, really starting to give up. I'm like, this may not work out the way I want it to. But let's see how much damage he takes here. 68,000. 68,000 is not a good look. But we're going to pull through. We're going to pull through. Look at that. And now our health is so low. It's almost. Got it. Now, here's the best part about this. Dark Mask King is going to basically take some of the damage he produces and basically bring it back in as energy. So we're going to do a tiny bit of healing here. Now, not enough to, in theory, save ourselves, but you see that down there? It helps. It helps. That's one of the secrets to this team. Dark Mask King is making this totally 100% viable. And once again, it's hard to call on this team like what units to use because so many of them are so good. But Dark Mask King every single time is going to find a place on my team. Now, Cumbers is going to pull the fire again here because he's going to transform into his Grade 8 form. Now, the only downside to his Grade 8 form here is we have to have 4 key in a row, and, well, as you'll see, that's sometimes easier said than done. Yeah. Now, we got 2 of the 3, so that's not bad. That's not bad. And, obviously, because he's Fizz, we want to get rid of the Int Goku Jr. unit. We want to get rid of that unit. He has the highest likelihood of producing that because he's a Fizz type. Goku Jr. is an Int. So rather than picking on a unit that we don't have type advantage against, we're going to hope for crits. We're going to hope for double attacks. We're going to hope for some really good skills here. All right, so we're on our third attack of third hit of third SA, I guess you could say, because we did get a double attack in there. Now, one more time. Let's see if we can pull this off. We're not getting a... All right, we're going to get that attack, but we're not going to get another one. So we got 1 SA. 1. Such a... This is why I say, like, before you start judging the video, remember, RNG is definitely not doing it for me here. RNG is just absolutely just hating on me. Let's be frank. RNG is not doing me any favors. Alright. But the best part about this, because we got his transformation, we are going to survive. And we're going to move on a little bit further. Now, understand when we get out of here, our health's back to where it was. And a lot of you are going to be screaming, heal! Heal! But the point was, we got to do this with no items. No items. No matter how bad the RNG gets, we're going to do this no items whatsoever. So, how do we handle this situation? Okay? We just basically got to put the person with the most defense on the backside and kind of hope for the best here. Cumber can stun, but he also could very easily take out this Goten with the right situation. So I think this is going to be the right choice. All right. This is going to... Now, that would be... Obviously, we didn't get a whole lot of healing there, but we got more healing, actually, in the long run than using the Fizz Orbs. So let's go ahead. See what happens here. Cumber, you gotta kill Goku Jr. I think I called him Goten. You gotta kill Goku Jr. You gotta kill him. Okay. Okay. And now, with him gone, we seal Vegeta Jr. and we are pretty much golden. We are absolutely in a fantastic state now. All right. So, Vegeta Jr. sealed. This now is kind of, I won't say a gimme run, but it's definitely way better than we've had before. We've got some Strength Orbs. We're going to get a little tiny bit of healing, enough to pull us out of the fire. Let's get a little bit of healing there. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of healing there. It's just little bits, not enough to count, but with the 2 tanks on this team, we're definitely be holding our own. All right, so not a great hit, but we did get a stun, and that means we, with that stun, thanks for the double stun, with that stun in place, that's that. We're done. This fight is effectively over. All we're going to do is just be hammering down on him for the next, turn and a half. So, obviously, Fizz Vegeta not really doing us any favors here, but, nor really, honestly, is Cumber. But I would say if we could pull out some on-type key in this run, then we can get enough healing to basically last into the next one. Remember, he's stunned, so we're good here. We're going to get this on-type key with Vegeta. We're not going to do damage, but we got enough healing there that if we can... Well, I don't even think we have to get a stun next turn. I think if we just, honestly, just go hard, we'll be fine. All right. I love when they get a double attack, but they don't bother to SA. Especially in, this 11th hour moment. You're like, could you be any more brutal? Could you be any more brutal? All right. So, we're putting a lot of faith here into Goku and Dark Mask King. We're really hoping these two are able to pull us out of the fire. Let's go. Crit, baby. No crit, but we did get a stun. We did get a stun. That's perfect. Okay. And his attack is so low anyway, I don't think it would have mattered if we stunned. The only thing that he could have done is, sucker SA Vegeta. That's the only way he could have won at this point. That was that. Because, once again, his attack is so low that any kind of base attack, even on someone like Vegeta or Cumber, is just going to get shrugged off and laughed at. All right. We are in the home stretch. And actually, I think he was sealed anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have been able to get an SA off. So, there we go, y'all. That is that. Now, it's a bit of a long run, I'm going to be honest. It was not a glamour run. If I took the time to upgrade everybody's link levels a little bit more, it would have been a beautiful glamour run. But, just to show y'all, let's go to the details. Bam. Look at that. Now, I'm going to pause this here. No items whatsoever. And just Dragon Ball Heroes team. Is it the best run? No. Am I going to take the crown of the SBR King? Hell no. But if I could do this, anybody can do this, guys. Anybody can. You don't have to have them rainbowed. It does help, but it obviously was... If you had, good RNG, obviously there's a lot of situations there where the RNG just was screw you, pal, this ain't happening, and we pulled it out anyway. So... yeah, fantastic run. Very happy with the results. Love this banner. If you have not hit the banner, do that first. My honest to goodness advice, honestly, my advice here: ignore the blue, ignore Goku and Vegeta. Ignore the Tanabata banner, whatever they're going to bring in here, the Christmas banner, whatever the hell they're going to call it. That banner is an absolute bomb. Ignore LR Jiren, who, yes, we're getting an LR Jiren next. Summon on Dragon Ball Heroes, save the rest of your stones. Save a good amount of stones. You probably want a good 400 plus stones, honestly. Just save, at least 200, but save some stones for the GLR banner that we have historically gotten every New Year's Day. Save your stones. If you don't summon on Dragon Ball Heroes, or summon on Dragon Ball Heroes and save some stones for that, don't summon on these trap banners. Leave them alone, guys. That's the video. Like, comment, share. I'm going to be back at y'all with more Dokkan Battle here later today. Probably defecating all over what I just said.